third base, number 5, Tanner Reeves. The shortstop, number 4, Stephen Mullen. At second base, number 14, Daniel Dickinson. At first base, number 22, Jared Jones. Catcher, number 0, Kate Irby. And now for LSU, number 34, Chase Shores.
On the LSU Sports Radio Network.
Sunday afternoon, Tiger fans. Welcome once again. Skip Bertman Field inside Alex Box Stadium. It's LSU baseball as they host the North Alabama Lions in Game 3 of this series. So far, it's been LSU. But what has changed from the start of the 2025 season? The Tigers winners of 10 straight. Already taking this series on Friday, the run rule victory 13-2. Yesterday, a 6-2 win. And they go for another clean sweep on the weekend before they begin SEC play coming up next week. While we have a moment, let's pause 10 seconds. Station identification. This is Fighting Tiger Baseball on the LSU Sports Radio Network.
This is LSU Fighting Tiger Baseball on the LSU Sports Radio Network and the LSU Sports mobile app.
Along with our producer, Adam Gattuso, Buzzy Heidel, Chris Blair with you here inside the broadcast booth. Glad we could bring the action to you over the Sports Radio Network as well as SEC Network Plus. Time now to check your game day weather report, brought to you by AccuTemp. Chance of power outages never get a whole home jump. Jonathan Lane at the plate. Shores with the wind and the first pitch, and it's foul. A little tapper towards the third base dugout, and we are underway. Time of first pitch, 1:03 Central Time. Lane again, right-handed hitter, and another swing, and this one a spiking ground ball foul again to the third base dugout. So far, Lane this weekend 1 for 7 at the plate, batting 143 against Tiger pitching. Sits back in the box, trying to get a good look at Chase Shores, the tall right-hander. Ahead in the count, the 0-2 pitch. Slider misses away, and it's 1 ball and 2 strikes. Buzzy, how do you see the recipe for success today? I know you kind of mentioned it earlier before first pitch. Kind of keep on keeping on LSU in this 10-game win streak. Formula and recipe for success. There's a swing and a miss. That will help. Chase Shores with a punch out to get the game started. 1 down here in the top of the first inning. That recipe for success brought to you by BRQ Seafood and Barbecue, official catering service of LSU Athletics.
Yeah, well, it's getting off to a good start, and that helps striking out Lane, one of their better hitters on this Lion team. And you said it you talked about it in the interview with Coach Johnson about playing good defense. I think that's something that's overlooked a lot of times in baseball. You catch the ball behind your pitcher, you're going to have a chance to win a lot of games if you don't make errors.
First delivery to Rippon, the left-hander, up in on the hands, missing for ball 1. And it's 1-0. So far on the weekend, Rippon 0 for 6, has scored a run. He'll swing and miss at this fastball at 95, thrown up there by Shores. Evens the count, 1-1. This one slapped and a base hit into right field. So Rippon with his first hit of the weekend, and with 1 out, Lions get a runner aboard.
Yeah, I think it's important to get off to a hot start for LSU. They did it in Friday's game. They limited North Alabama. They didn't score their first run to the 5th inning, and LSU had already put up 7 runs before that. Yesterday, Anthony Ianson, who after giving up 2 runs in that first inning, really settled down. Ended up having the 15 strikeouts and pitched incredible, just like he did against Nebraska in Frisco. But a good hot start for Shores is just be with the doctor orders.
Matthew Delgado now stands in with a runner at first and 1 out. He takes a big cut, fouls it into the screen above the first base dugout, and it's 0-1.
But I like Shores early. He's throwing first pitch strikes. North Alabama being very aggressive, and Rippon actually put a good swing on that the last batter, but I like Shores being in the zone early.
Rippon with a lead off of first as the delivery is low and away. 1 ball and 1 strike now to Matthew Delgado, who's been the leading hitter for the Lions this weekend. 2 for 6 with a run scored, had a double, drove in a run, batting .333 against the Tigers thus far. 1 out, runner at first, top of the first inning. Shores fires. Nicely done. Beautiful breaking ball, off speed, inside corner, just above the kneecaps. Not much Delgado could even try to do with that, and it's 1-2.
Yeah, a lot of times Shores will throw kind of 2 different sliders. He'll throw one slider that'll almost like the get me over pitch for a strike, and then when he gets you to 2 strikes, he'll throw that thing a lot harder and try to get the swing and miss.
The 1-2 from Shores. This is a knock and just out of the reach of Dickinson. A liner through the 4-hole, and 2 hits now for the Lions and back-to-back at-bats, and they've got runners first and second.
Well, the pitch before that, he went with an 82-mile-an-hour slider and kind of flipped it in there for a strike. And then that one, he tried to really get a little more on it, as I just told you. He went with the 84-mile-an-hour slider, but just got underneath it, and it hung up a little bit out over the plate. It wasn't that good sharp one that he tries to get with 2 strikes. And Delgado, who has been their leading hitter, as you mentioned, Chris, one of the better players on this Lions team, just rips one to right field. And see if Shores can pitch in the clutch early in this first inning.
Delgado with his 3rd hit of the weekend. Now Shores will face Kraska, and there's a first pitch strike to make it 0-1. Went right back to the fastball at 97 on the gun.
Yeah, had some juice behind it. I wasn't able to see Ianson in person yesterday. I know Cade Anderson on Friday, his velocity was up for him. He looked really good. And
here's a bouncing ground ball. Dickinson grabs it at second. Relay to Milam and over to first to Jared Jones for the twin killing. The Tigers, after putting a couple of runners on, the double play from the defense, able to help out the starter Chase Shores, and the Lions come up empty. No runs, 2 hits. They leave 1 man on, and we now move to the bottom of the first. Tigers come to the plate. Curiel, Jones, and Dickinson when we continue. This is Fighting Tiger Baseball. Bottom of the first inning, LSU comes to the plate for the first time this afternoon. Curiel, Jones, and Dickinson will lead it off. Fans, Our Lady of the Lake, proud to be LSU's championship health partner. Together, LSU and Our Lady of the Lake, champions for Louisiana. Together we roar. Learn more at olrmc.com/LSU. Well, a good start for LSU. Chase Shores fans the first batter he faces. Gives up 2 hits, but Buzzy, if you listen to Coach Jay Johnson, and you mentioned it a moment ago, he really emphasized what he's been impressed about with this team, and that's been solid defense. In fact, he's talked about the infield and the outfield being exceptional up to this point, and he said, hey, that allows our pitchers to go out there, be aggressive with the strike zone, because they can rely on what's behind them, and we saw it just there. After giving up the 2 hits, the defense comes up with the double play to get the Tigers back in the dugout and get them to the plate. It'll be Derek Curiel to lead it off, and the first pitch from Pinston is fouled back into the screen, and it's 0-1.
Well, defense is a thing, too. You feel like you can bring that every day. I mean, at times your hitting will go into little slumps. Maybe your pitchers, here and there won't have their best stuff, but you just feel like you can play good defense. That should be something that you can bring to the ballpark every day, and that was a heck of a double play in that first inning.
This pitch inside just misses the kneecaps of Curiel, and it's 1-1.
Curiel, relative to the season, has had just an okay series so far. Only 2 hits. He's 2 for 7, hitting .286 against North Alabama.
The 1-1 from Pinston, off speed but upstairs, missing for ball 2, 2-1.
But I like him in the leadoff spot. I've mentioned this a lot. He takes a lot of pitches. He's got a mature approach. He doesn't really look like a freshman up there. And even when he gets out, he always seems to have those quality at bats. Makes it he's always a difficult out.
2-1. Missed above the letters. Now a hitter's count for Curiel. Dangerous spot there if you're Pinston. As Curiel, as we said, batting .429, off to an incredible start. Does not look like a true freshman in the field or certainly in the batter's box. Here's the 3-1. Good take, missed outside. Pinston going to give up the leadoff walk. The Tigers get the leadoff man aboard here in the bottom of the first inning.
Again, coming into this game, Pinston had 4 walks in 13 innings. He got the loss last weekend on Sunday against UAB. He threw 6 innings, gave up 2 walks, 2 strikeouts. So his first walk of the game here, and that's one thing Jay Johnson's offensive they do. They draw walks, they get on base. That's kind of part of Jay Johnson's theory.
Now we'll see Jared Jones. Jones with a 2-run bomb yesterday, and that 6-2 win, his 5th home run of the year. Also added another double. He's got 8 doubles on the season, batting .424. Pinston checks the runner, now fires. Jones lifts this one high in the air down the line in right, but it will find the seats way down at the very last row down the line in right field. And it's 0-2 now to Jones.
Yeah, LSU, if I'd have told you LSU had 6 home runs on Friday night and Jared Jones wasn't a part of that, you probably never would have believed me. But he got in the mix yesterday, and it was a big homer. LSU and North Alabama were tied going into the 5th inning, and he hit that home run to take the lead.
The 0-2 pitch got loose from Pinston high and outside, and it's 1 ball and 2 strikes. Mentioned 70 degrees out here. Steady breeze blowing left to right towards the Intimidator sign, high above the diamond deck in right field. But a real comfortable day to be at the ballpark, and a lot of Tiger fans taking advantage of it here at the box. Curiel with a lead. Pitch to Jones, and a good eye. Just missed a little high above the letters, and it's 2-2.
Now, one thing to keep an eye on with Pinston is he really likes to go to that slider a lot, and especially to right-handed hitters. We'll see if the scouting report says the same thing. It was what he's going to do today.
2-2. Fouled back by Jones. Looks like he just got a piece of that with the end of the bat. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Curiel again with a lead off first. The 2-2 pitch. Big swing high in the air to right field. Alex Wade giving chase to the track, to the wall, and this one is going to carry on out of here. Jared Jones just muscles a home run deep to right field just inside the foul pole, and the Tigers take a 2-0 lead here in the bottom of the first inning.
That was a great description of it, Chris. Muscled is the key word there. I'm going to tell you, when it was off the bat, I didn't even thought he had a chance of getting out, and that just goes to show you how big and strong. That's 3 home runs for sure that he's hit to right field in this last week. He had a couple against North Dakota State. He pulled the one yesterday, but just stays inside out, but just big and strong, and it keeps carrying out. That's glad to have that guy on our team.
Leadoff walks always come back to bite you. Pinston gives up his first home run of the year. Gives up 2 runs here to the Tigers in the bottom of the first inning. That'll bring Daniel Dickinson, the Tigers' second baseman, to the plate. First pitch, breaking ball, caught the outside corner, and it's 0-1. Pinston tries to shake off that Jones home run. Dickinson, though, not going to make life easy for him. Dickinson with 5 home runs as well this year. That one missed high. It's 1 ball, 1 strike. Here's the 1-1. And this one hammered, but down the line foul just above the bullpen and into the seats in left field, out of play. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Was listening to Jeff Palermo, Hunt Palmer yesterday on the call for the game. They did a fabulous job, and they had a little miniature debate in between innings, or from inning to inning. First the 1-2. Dickinson, ground ball and a nasty short hop at Billingsley at third. Gets over his glove. Going to be backed up by Leighton Jenkins in shallow left field. The shortstop gets a hold of the ball, but Dickinson, expect to see this maybe be an infield hit. Again, could have been handled, but boy, that was a nasty short hop. Got up on Billingsley and hit him right in the heel of the glove, but we'll see how they assess it here. No decision as of yet. Nope, they're going to give it an error. So an error on Billingsley, the third baseman. Does allow Dickinson to arrive. Still nobody out here in the bottom of the first inning. And we'll see Josh Pearson. He's having a great senior campaign. But Hunt and Jeff were discussing on who's going to lead this team in home runs. Obviously, Jared Jones, the first that comes to mind. But Daniel Dickinson has shown the ability for power. Clearly, there's a strike to Pearson.
Well, I don't bet much, Chris, but if you went to the bookie window and the odds would tell you Jared Jones would be the guy, he'd be the favorite. But I'll know this, it's really good to look down at that lineup and see the 2-3 hole with now a combined 11 homers. But Jared Jones and Dickinson coming into this game were 5 apiece, and for a team that we knew we'd get some the power from Jones, we didn't know where else we'd get it.
Pitch low in the dirt to Pearson, now 2-1. Now, I don't mean to misquote our colleagues. I think what they were actually debating was, yes, Jared Jones probably leader in the clubhouse to lead the Tigers in home runs. Who else will be there behind him?
Yeah.
That's probably a better way to frame it. Runner at first, nobody out. The pitch to Pearson. Nice delivery there by Pinston on the inside corner to even the count 2-2.
Well, Dickinson has certainly been a guy that showed that he's got the power early, and then we know about Luis Hernandez, who is not getting the start today, but he had 23 homers last year at Indiana State, and a guy that has some power in that bat.
2-2. Pearson skies this one, but it gets out of play down the right field line. Count remains 2-2. I'm going to go with my Cinderella candidate, again, to be right there in the thick of the race. I think Stephen Milam.
Yeah, and what's funny is if you lined him up, in a row, he'd be maybe the last guy you picked. But that's just the great thing about baseball is it doesn't matter how big you are sometimes. Mike Fontenot back in the day wasn't that big, and he hit a bunch of homers for LSU. Pearson
fouls this one back behind us. Still 2 balls and 2 strikes. And I say that because last year, as the season went along, Jay Johnson multiple times told me before the game, told me during the weekly radio show, just wait. Milam's got such a good swing, so good fundamentally, that the power will come. And on the back end of last year, he was right on the money. Here's the 2-2. Pearson line drive, but a dying line drive handled by Jonathan Lane at second base. Looked like he came off the bat pretty good, but then just kind of died, and Lane had to drop down, basket catch that one at second base. Curiel not venturing, or rather Dickinson not venturing very far. He stays at first. And we'll see the aforementioned Stephen Milam now. With 1 out, still a runner at first, and the Tigers leading 2-0 thanks to Bear Jones' home run to right field. Milam batting .390 on the season. Just an incredible approach at the plate. 23 of 59 so far this season. Throw over. Dickinson slides back to first base. Josh Simpson, assistant coach, first base coach for the Tigers. Josh Jordan keeping an eye on things down the line at third. 1 out, runner at first. Pitch to Milam. Inside corner called strike. Let's introduce you to our officials today. Clayton Ham at first base, Brian Hale umpire at second base, Michael Lusky at third, Christopher Griffith behind the plate calling balls and strikes. 0-1 the count to Monster Milam, with Dickinson down at first. The pitch, and Milam takes ball one. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Now Milam, a guy that you just have so much confidence in, and I'm going to tell you, Chris, I don't know what side I like him better at. I mean, you flip him over when there's a left-handed pitcher to the right side, and it seems like he's just as good, just as confident there as he is from the left side.
That's what we thought last year. Here's the 1-1. Off speed, but a strike at the belt, and it's 1-2. It kind of felt like early on, more effective from the left side, and then as the season wore on, remember multiple conversation, Bill Franquez and I on the road talking about looking at the numbers, and again, just a complete player in Stephen Milam. Again, a throw over, and again, Dickinson easily back to first. 1 ball, 2 strikes. The pitch goes opposite field and drops in left. Great piece of hitting by Milam. Just found where the pitch was located, got his bat out there, and just kind of forced it into left field. Gets his 24th hit of the season. Now the Tigers have runners first and second. Still just 1 out in the bottom of the first inning.
Yeah, youngsters, you want to be good hitters. When you get a pitch out over the plate as a left-handed hitter and you don't try to pull it, you just go with the pitch, as they say. You can, you too can be a Stephen Milam if you work hard enough, because sometimes that's, to me, that's prettier than if you rip a ball down the right field line, down the pull side, because that shows discipline. That shows a lot of just talent to be able to do that.
And if you're watching or listening, stop and go get the bat and go work on it now if you want to have a shot to be like Stephen Milam.
Well, I worked on it. I just couldn't do it. So there's you still got to be talented. So.
We'll see Jake Brown. Brown with a great freshman season a year ago. This pitch low and inside. That'll even the count now to Jake. 1 ball and 1 strike. Jake batting .325, 13 hits on the year, including 4 doubles. He's driven in 7 runs. Got an opportunity here. The ground ball right of first base is foul. Make it 1 ball and 2 strikes. Gurriel led off the inning. Got aboard on a walk. Jared Jones came to the plate. Sent a baseball packing into the diamond deck in right. A 2-0 LSU lead. Dickinson got aboard on a fielding error. Pearson would line out to second base. Then Milam singles opposite field to left. Now Brown, base hit up the middle into right center field. They're going to go ahead and wave around Dickinson. There'll be no throw home, and an RBI single for Jake Brown. His 8th ribby of the season, and the Tigers making a 3-0 lead over North Alabama. Runners on the corner, still just 1 out, and we'll see Tanner Reeves.
Yeah, Jake Brown took the off-speed pitch, and it was away, but kept the hands back just long enough. Lane, the second baseman for North Alabama, was played to the pull side, so he was played a little over towards that 4-hole, and possibly if Lane was playing just normal double play depth, that could have been a double play ball, but name of the game is hit it where they are not, and Brown was able to do that.
Well, Pinston now in a little bit of trouble here. In the bottom of the first inning, we're going to get a mound visit. David Mervis, the pitching coach, going to call for time, go out there. They've already sent some personnel, have the Lions down to the bullpen. Nobody up and throwing, but they're starting to stretch and starting to see some action down there as they take this time out. Visit with their starter, Anthony Pinston, again a senior right-hander.
Yeah, I mean, the numbers weren't bad coming in. Again, he had the 4 walks in 13 innings, under 3 ERA, but really the ERA as a team, it's going up a little bit, obviously, with these last 2 games for LSU, but they were sitting in the 3s for a team ERA, which in college baseball is pretty doggone good, but LSU's had their numbers over the last couple games.
So now Coach Mervis back into the dugout for the Lions. And we'll see Tanner Reeves, who's had a great weekend thus far. Got his first home run as a Tiger on Friday. 3-run bomb. Batting .292 on the year. Got another start today at third base. Runners on the corners with 1 out. Pitch from Pinston, a fastball up, missing for ball 1.
Well, a guy that has home run power as well. We talked about guys who could possibly be in the lead for home runs. If Reeves gets enough at-bats, gets enough playing time. I mean, he hit 8 homers last year at Glenn Junior College, and he hit 20 the year before.
This one fouled back into the screen.
Yeah, good battle at third base. We know what Michael Braswell can do. We saw it last year, and Reeves probably brings a little more power to the table. They both play really good defense from what I've seen early in this season.
1-1. It's a strike on the inside corner. Get Pinston ahead 1-2. You mentioned his time at Glenn Community College. And I know these numbers certainly got the attention of Jay Johnson. A .398 average over 2 years with 28 home runs and 142 runs batted in.
Oh, yeah.
Again, runners first and third, 1 out. The 1-2. Runner goes down to second. Throw is going that way. And out at second base will be Brown. The throw left of second, but a nice job by the shortstop Jenkins. Bring it across to apply the tag. But coming in to score from third will be Milam. So that will increase the lead for the Tigers. Again, they were willing to give up the run to get the out. It was a good throw down by Delgado as far as timing. As I mentioned, it was a little left of second base, but a great job by Jenkins recovering, bringing it over, and applying the tag. So with the bases empty now, there's a swing. Foul ball just into the railing of the Tiger dugout, and it's 2-2 to Tanner Reeves. 4-0 LSU leads. Again, I joked with Coach Johnson before today's game. I said, Jay, yesterday you guys use everything. Extra base hits, home runs, suicide squeeze. There's the swing. Reeves fouls this one out of play left side. I said, just shows you the vast array of tools this team has. Something we haven't seen. And you and I talked about it Friday. I mean, there's a little more aggressive nature to the base pad, as we saw just a moment ago. LSU happy to take a run for an out at second base. And the 2-2, swing and a miss. Pinston able to get Reeves to chase upstairs for the third out of the inning. But the Tigers put 4 on the board. 4 runs on 3 hits, 1 error by the Lions after 1 at the box. 4-0 LSU leads. Lions come to the plate, top of the second. When we continue, this is Fighting Tiger Baseball.
Join us on Saturday, May 3rd for the second annual Iowa Traditions Gala. Releasing Saturday night featuring Jordan Lakes here at Tiger Stadium. The event features music music and exclusive acoustic songs and stages by award-winning singer-songwriter Jordan Lakes. Plus, there's a student athlete Hannah, and marching and performance by Bears. Those on the line is at rctaf.org/events to reserve your table today.
Good bottom of the first inning for the Tigers. They lead 4-0 over North Alabama. We head to the top of the second inning. Lions will have Alex Wilson to lead it off, a right-handed hitter. Chase Shores had his defense back him up there in the top of the first inning, and his offense gives him a 4-run lead as he comes out here to start his second inning of work. Slings the fastball in just off the outside corner, and it's 1-0.
Yeah, pitcher's best friend. You're always one pitch away when you got a couple guys on, especially somebody at first base where you got the double play in order.
Wilson swings, puts a charge into this one out in left center field. Great jump and a great play in left by Pearson. At full sprint, able to rise, get the glove up, make the play. for a loud out number 1.
Yeah, fastball up in the zone. I thought Wilson got enough of it to get down into left field. Wynn may have held it up a bit, but Pearson shows the good athleticism, and he gets on his horse and catches it relatively easy.
It's amazing when you watch that replay how close Chris Stanfield was to that play as well. But great communication in the outfield. He yielded and went behind Pearson to back him up. They make the play. Fundamentals out in the outfield for the Tigers. First pitch now to Wes Walker. Misses inside to the left-handed hitter. Fastball at 97 from Chase Shores, and it's 1-0. Walker with his 33rd at bat of the year. Batting under 100 as this pitch low inside, make it 2-0.
Shores in the start against Sam Houston in Frisco. He threw 89 pitches in that game in 5 innings of work.
This pitch got loose. Gets by Aaron Beatty all the way to the backstop. Fastball uncorked at 96, but it's 3-0. So Walker, the start at DH today, awaits. He's swinging on a 3-0 pitch and fouls it down the third base line. It's now 3-1. On its way. Misses low. Again, steady diet of fastballs, but just unable to find the strike zone there was Chase Shores, and Walker with a 1-out walk. Heads down to first base, and the Lions get base runners again in consecutive innings. Now we'll see Alex Wade, redshirt sophomore out of Decatur, Alabama. Wade batting 167 this weekend, 1 for 6 at the plate. First pitch to the right-hander. Again, just missed low. Not missing much, Buzzy. That's what's interesting. A couple of those fastballs offered up to Walker, just missing. And that one again there, maybe just below the knees. Shores trying to dial it in. Here's the 1-0 pitch. And a swing and a miss. Wade unable to catch up to that heater. It's 1-1.
Yeah, I don't know if there's any science behind what I'm about to say here, but I've found over these first couple weeks that the zones have been pretty tight, not just for LSU. I find for the other team as well that the umpires have been pretty tight. It's been a hitter's type of zone.
The 1-1 bouncer, but foul. Makes its way down the third base line, and it's 1-2. I agree. I mean, I've spent most of this season with men's basketball, so haven't had the chance to see it right here behind home plate, but watching on TV from the center field cam, I would agree with you. I think really as a whole across college baseball, the strike zone started out tight this season. Here's the 1-2. Ooh, just missed off the outside corner to your point.
Perfect example.
Aaron Beatty doing a great job of letting it hang there, but Christopher Griffith, our home plate umpire, not buying. It's 2-2.
I mean, Doug Thompson's not going to want to hear this, but the last out in the World Series when they won it in '97 that was like a pitch out in today's world. Ball was way outside.
There's a swing and a miss. Got him with a breaking ball. Kind of a half-hearted swing there. I'm not sure Wade was fully committed, but Chase Shores will take the punch out. That's his second of the day, and there's 2 gone in the top of the second inning. Are you really saying? I got to go back and watch this video.
Oh, it's a famous video that's been showed out. You'll see it. It's out there a lot.
But I mean, I've seen it, but you'll go on record. It's a pitch out.
Well, it's down low for sure, and it may have even been off the plate a little bit. I mean, that pitch by Shores was way better.
Billingsley stands in and fouls it back into the screen. It's 0-1.
Now, with that being said, as a hitter in today's world, with everybody throwing 98 miles an hour, you probably want the tight zone. Back then, everybody had a bat, the -5s, and there was homers being hit all over the place. Maybe the zone needed to be a little bigger. You adjust with the times, I guess, Chris.
Billingsley behind in the count 0-1. Runner at first and a swing. A little pop fly. Looks like Milam between second and third. Settles under it and squeezes it for out number 3. No runs, no hits. Lions leave one man on. They trail 4-0 to your Tigers. LSU coming to the plate. Aaron Beat. LSU leading 4-0 here in Game 3. Plenty of baseball left. We hit the bottom of the second inning. Cade Arambidi, the Tiger catcher, the freshman out of Tomball, Texas, will stand in. He'll face Anthony Pinston, the starter for the Lions. Arambidi batting .176, a double, and 1 home run already in his freshman campaign. First pitch he'll lift in the air, and it'll find its way into the seats. Out of play in right, and it's 0-1.
Yeah, highly recruited player out of the Houston, Texas area. He got his first home run against North Dakota State earlier in the year, and again, a guy that all the talent in the world, and just a little bit of a struggle to start the freshman campaign, but needs a little good fortune to happen.
The 0-1 to Cade. Misses off the plate outside, and it's 1-1. This one from Pinston misses away and low. 2 balls and 1 strike. Get another state player of the year on this Tiger roster. Talking about Cade Arambidi in the great state of Texas. Here's the 2-1 pitch. Just got a piece, fouls it off. Evens a count 2-2.
Yeah, when you got the number 1 player from, it seems like every state around, LSU's destined to be good again this year, but there's a bunch of Gatorade Player of the Year, a bunch of number 1 players coming out of every state.
2 balls, 2 strikes. The pitch to Arambidi. Driven in the air to left field. Rippon coming over near the line. Has room to make the play just shy of the track for out number 1. Pretty good poke off the bat. Looked like it caught into the wind and cut it down and allowed Rippon to get over and make the play for the first out of the inning. We'll see Chris Stanfield at the bottom of the order. Stanfield has certainly been a shot in the arm for this Tiger team after transferring in from Auburn after successful time there. Defensively in center field, and also all he can do at the plate and on the base pads. First pitch to Stanfield. The called strike at the knees, and Stanfield thought that was way low. So did a few Tiger fans. Pinston taking a little extra time, checks the wristwatch, now comes set. Here's the 0-1. That one eye it outside. Stanfield nods his head and agrees wholeheartedly with Christopher Griffith, the home plate umpire. The 1-1. Swing and a miss. Stanfield put everything he had into the swing, but just couldn't find the ball. It's 1-2.
Now, Stanfield hit .280 in the 23 season at Auburn. He hit .276 last year at Auburn.
1-2 pitch, and a swing and a miss. That time slowed it down, got the breaking ball, and Stanfield just swings over the top. Pinston records his second strikeout. Now we'll see Curiel, the top of the order now for the Tigers. A board on a walk, came in to score on that Jared Jones 2-run homer to get the Tigers on the board. In the distance, the 141 special rolling by. There's a strike to Curiel to set him up 0-1. Pitch on its way. There's a strike on the inside corner. Fastball from Pinston gets him ahead, 0-2.
Yeah, the shift on for the Lions. Got the shortstop Jenkins he's on the right side of second base.
The 0-1 down in the dirt, gets away from Delgado. Moves the count, 1 ball, 2 strikes. A lot of open real estate to the left side of the diamond. Trying to pull this one. It's fouled by Curiel down the first base line. Got Billingsley on this defensive shift, playing basically in the 6-hole at shortstop.
I find this is where Curiel is so good. When you get to 2 strikes, he just battles so well.
1-2 pitch inside. Evens a count 2-2.
And again, he not necessarily always has to get the hit, but if he gets to 0-2, he just makes that pitcher work, fouls off pitches, takes a good pitch. There's always a quality at bat.
Not looking for Curiel to do this, but a good bunt, and he might double. This pitch misses outside to fill it up 3-2. A little bit of moisture, maybe.
Yeah, no kidding.
On the grass.
All the room in the world over that third base side.
I may be able to hustle out a single if I laid one down. Here's a payoff pitch and a swing, late swing, but he gets a piece to stay alive. Still 3-2. Fans scratch-made dishes, wall-to-wall TVs, craft beers, and cocktails. Find it all at your nearest location. Order online or in the app. Walk On Sports Bistro for the win. 2 outs, nobody on. LSU up 4-0 here. Bottom of the second inning. Derek Curiel batting for the second time today, and it's a ground ball into the shift. Going to be handled by Kraska, and he will toss to Pinston, covering at first for out number 3. So the Tigers, no runs, no hits, nobody touches base. We go to the top of the third. LSU up 4-0. Lions come to the plate. When we continue, this is Fighting Tiger Baseball. Nothing. LSU leading over the Lions of North Alabama. Chase Shores back out there to start the third inning of work on the mound. Leighton Jenkins at the bottom of the order will stand in at the plate. Jenkins, the senior out of Collinsville, Mississippi. Is this one a called strike? And it's 0-1. Jenkins batting 125 on the season. 0 for so far this weekend with 6 plate appearances. Shores, 0-1 delivery. Blows a fastball by him, swing and a miss, 0-2.
That's a little unfair. Starts Jenkins out with a slider, get me over slider, and then 95 miles an hour. Jenkins not able to catch up to it.
The 0-2 from Shores. Rears back, and the fastball at 98, just off the outside corner at the knees. Moves the count 1-2, but that's a great 0-2 pitch, and credit Jenkins staying away. Outside, evens the count, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Tigers have Xavier in the midweek, then Missouri coming in to start SEC play next Friday. 2-2 pitch. This one lifted in the air, left center field, but great positioning. Pearson's there, takes a few steps, makes it look easy for out number 1.
Yeah, I mean, look, LSU's played the teams in front of them. That's all you can do, and they've won some games convincingly. They've had some close games. They've had to come back. They've obviously have a loss against Omaha. I think they've but we'll know a lot more about this team in another 2-3 weeks whenever they get into the SEC play.
Now we'll see Jonathan Lane atop the order. He was a strikeout victim. 1 of 2 so far for Shores on the day. Fire a fastball in, missing inside, 1-0. Yeah, as you mentioned, on the trip around the SEC, 2 teams still undefeated. Alabama, maybe a little bit of surprise, although a lot of people felt like they'd be much improved this year. And, of course, Tennessee. That pitch missed inside, now 2-0. Two-0 pitch. Missed off the outside corner. Another fastball off the mark. Now 3 balls, no strikes.
Yeah, and both those teams, Chris, Tennessee and Alabama, lead the SEC in team batting average. Tennessee at 349 coming into today. Alabama 348.
3-0 pitch. Strike at the belt to make it 3-1. Lane taking all the way. Also good news on the schedule this year. Both the Crimson Tide and the Vols come to the box.
Yeah, that'll be a fun series when Tennessee comes in. Reigning national champions.
A little more room to work with. This one hit down the line, drops in fair in right. Karams off the low seating wall. Going to be picked up by Brown. The throw's overthrown at second base. Milam couldn't get to it. Slide it in safely will be Lane. Picks up the double, his second of the year with 1 out. The Lions have a runner in scoring position.
Yeah, fastball out over the plate and does a nice job. Lane does a nice job just keeping it a couple inches fair down that right field line and gets on his horse. Brown played it perfectly off the wall, just Lane runs too well and gets in there safely.
So now we'll see Nash Rippon. Rippon had a single back in the first inning when they put 2 aboard. And a double play erased all of that to get Shores out of the slight jam. There's a first pitch called strike to Rippon, and it's 0-1. And the Tigers going to host Missouri here at the box. Mississippi State coming to Baton Rouge. Alabama, as we mentioned, then Tennessee, all coming in mid to late April. Pitch inside at the hands. Aaron Beatty going to fire down to second. Lane able to get back after taking a little too much of a lead for Cade's liking. It's 1-1 now to Rippon at the plate. The Tigers finish up with Arkansas, also a very great SEC series that will be played here at Alex Box Stadium. Lane with the lead off second. Shores gives a little extra look. Now the 1-1 down in the dirt. Aaron Beatty blocks it up, and it's 2-1 now to Rippon.
Chris, while we got a second, I want to wish good luck to the 9U Ascension Select baseball team playing over on the west side, my territory, playing in the Bruley-Port Allen area. They've got a game at 4 o'clock today, and they're listening and watching us right now as we speak, and so wish them all the best.
2-1. Missed outside. What time do they get started?
4 o'clock.
4 o'clock?
Yeah.
Well, we might have time to run over there. You want to call that one? You want to do 2 today?
Get over there. We'll get the roster. Why not?
Yeah.
Get out of here early enough, hopefully.
3-1 now. The count to Rippon with a runner at second base. Lions a little threat here in the top of the third. This pitch missed outside. Ball 4. So Rippon now will reach base for the second time, and that's going to bring Nate Yeske out of the Tiger dugout. He'll meet with the infield and Chase Shores on the mound. And got to believe here, Nate's kind of going out saying, hey, look, you haven't thrown a lot of bad pitches. Strike zone's fairly tight. We can deal with that. Probably just a confidence booster here. You can almost see a little frustration there from Chase on a couple of those pitches that just missed.
Well, and as home plate umpire Christopher Griffith gets out there, Coach Yeske may ask him, hey, how far are these balls missing off? We feel like we're making some good pitches. Although it doesn't look like there's much conversation going on with the home plate umpire, Christopher Griffith.
I don't think Coach Yeske even acknowledged his arrival. But nonetheless, the meeting broken up.
Well, yeah, big spot, too. I mean, you got the 3-hole hitter. He's their best hitter. Not a ton of power. Only 6 home runs for North Alabama, all 6 players have 1 home run, so it's not like they've got one outlier that has 4 or 5 home runs. But this guy, he's sitting in a 3-hole. Something tells me Delgado, at 6'1", 225 pounds, can run one out of here if Shores is not careful.
Had a base hit back in the first inning. As we mentioned, Delgado, the best at the plate. They put the hit and run on. He tried to swing as both runners put in motion, but he fouls it on a bouncer down the first base line, and Delgado just tried to put it in play. So the runners head back to second and first. Lane at second, Rippon at first base, and it's 0-1 to Matthew Delgado. Fans, Blue Cross Blue Shield of Louisiana, proud to be the official health insurance of LSU Athletics. Louisiana Blue, live Louisiana, we got you.
Yeah, Coach Prakniak for North Alabama, trying to get some things going, trying to put the runners in motion. A little hit and run by Delgado. So we're not going to sit here and just let Shores continues to carve us up. We're going to put the pressure to him, but
Coach Prakniak got a little extra time there for instructions to the base runners, and now Delgado digs back in. 0-1 the count. Runners take their lead. Shores to the plate. Miss low, ball 1.
Velocity's been good for Shores. Again, I mentioned Ianson yesterday. I didn't see much of him, but I imagine the velocity had to be good with 15 strikeouts. Looked like he had everything working. Anderson on Friday night was up to 95 miles an hour.
Here's the 1-1 from Shores. It's a bouncer up the middle, and a base hit will get its way into center field. Go ahead and send Lane in from third, and an RBI single for Delgado, his 7th ribby of the year. And back-to-back base hits, and the Lions on the board. They cut the Tiger lead 4-1.
Yeah, Delgado stays right back through the middle, doesn't try to do too much. I thought maybe for a second Milam was going to be able to get to it and put a glove on it, but
took that one high chop on the infield grass, but the second bounce had the spin to get into the outfield quicker. Milam unable to get to it. So now runners first and second again, just one out. Kraska, the first baseman, a lefty, stands in. Shores delivers, missed upstairs, ball 1.
Kraska does have 1 home run on the year for the Lions. There's a little action now as a couple players have run down to the LSU bullpen. We'll get you a number here when we see someone throwing.
Off the end of the bat, lifted foul out of play from Kraska. It's 1-1. Shores approaching 50 pitches. This next one will be his 48th pitch of the game here in the bottom of the third with 1 out. Runners first and second. LSU leading 4-1. The 1-1 pitch, ground ball, and against the shift, it will make its way into left center field. That's going to score Rippon from second base. And now they've cut the lead in half. It's 4-2 LSU. 2 runs scored here by the Lions.
Yeah, you know, Chris, that's when, as a coach, you don't really get that upset, or at least I wouldn't, because that's 2 ground balls, one by Delgado and the next one right there by Kraska, that are not hit particularly hard. They're just hitting perfect spots. I mean, if you got Milam positioned a little bit differently, that could be 2 double play balls, and Shores would be out of the inning. So you don't really get frustrated in a situation like that. Shores is making good pitches. They're just baseball's happening at this point.
Alex Wilson stands in, wide stance at the plate. Runners first and second, still just 1 out. Couldn't pull the trigger, and the pitch across the plate for a strike. It's 0-1.
Got number 43, Connor Benj, getting loose down in LSU's bullpen.
Shores 0-1 pitch. In the air, foul, out of play right side. Now Shores in the driver's seat, ahead in the count, 0-2. Runners again take their lead, first and second, just 1 out. The 0-2 pitch, staying alive as Wilson sends this one foul right side. Still no balls, 2 strikes. Delgado at second, Kraska, each with back-to-back base hits with RBI. A wait, and the 0-2 pitch to Wilson, sent back foul into the screen. So now we got a little battle here as Shores still works ahead. 0-2 the count.
Yeah, LSU took it to North Alabama on Friday night pretty good, but North Alabama responded yesterday. They were competitive in the game, and really, even though they're 3-10 as a team, I mean, a lot of their losses, they've been close, they've been in games. They played Tennessee tough earlier in the year. They played Auburn tough earlier in the year. So, team that knows their baseball.
This one just a little knock and a flare, going to drop into shallow right field. Jones gave it his best effort to get to it, but just had enough off the bat from Wilson to lift it in for another base hit. And now the bases are loaded with one out.
Well, again, Chris, I mean, kind of just sound like a broken record here.
Tough luck.
I mean, Chase, Shores is not making bad pitches, and they're not putting a whole lot of good wood on the baseball, but they're hitting it. They're just finding the holes, and sometimes that happens in baseball, and it's how you react to it. As we're going to have a little offensive timeout right now from the Lions.
So with the bases loaded, Coach Brackniak calls everybody in left of home plate. They're going to talk it over here with one out. Down 2 runs to LSU. Tigers up 4-2. Now the Lions have been able to kind of dot and spray 6 base hits. Already 2 runs in on 4 hits here in this inning. While we have a moment, let's pause 10 seconds. Station identification. This is Fighting Tiger Baseball on the LSU Sports Radio Network.
This is LSU Fighting Tiger Baseball on the LSU Sports Radio Network and the LSU Sports mobile app.
Great Sunday afternoon to be here at the box, along with our producer Adam Gattuso and the entire SEC Network Plus crew, Buzzy Heidel, Chris Blair, bringing you the action of North Alabama and LSU. Game 3 of this series. Tigers up 4-2, but the Lions already 2 runs in here in the top of the third, threatening with one out and the bases loaded. Wes Walker, the DH, stands in. The left-hander takes the first pitch low and away, and it's 1 ball, no strikes.
Well, really focus if you're Shores here on making a pitch, staying down in the zone, kind of revert back to that first inning and what you did so well to get that ground ball, because, again, you're 1 pitch away. Pitcher's best friend is that double play ball, and the bases loaded. That can certainly happen.
1-0 in the dirt, blocked up by Aaron Beatty. Gets away a little to the right of home plate, but not far enough. That will keep Delgado firmly at third base, and now a 2-0 count to Walker.
And this is where the veteran Milam just going to come in, just talk to Shores, give him a little pep talk really quick. I say veteran Milam like he's been here for 4 years. He's been here a year and a half, but it does. It seems like with all the great play last year late in the season and how well he's played so far this season, it just seems like he's been here forever.
2-0 the count. Pitch to Walker. Puts a big swing in it, but fouls it out of play left side. Delgado at third, Kraska at second base, both of them with base hits. Wilson also followed suit with a single. He's at first base. Here's the 2-1 pitch. And again, Walker fights it off, sends it into the screen. It's now 2-2.
Yeah, I mentioned the double play ball. Dickinson actually playing pretty back on the grass at the infield position at second base. It's going to be tough to turn a double play on that. We'll see if Shores can't work one in here right now.
2 balls, 2 strikes with 1 out. The base is loaded. And again, this one an elevated fastball, but Walker able to get the bat up there, foul it back. It's 2-2. The count remains. Wind starting to pick up here. In fact, lifting the flags, fully unfurled out above the batter's eye. Blowing left to right. Bases loaded, 1 out. 2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. That time took a little off, but elevated. Swing and a miss. Walker could not find it. Shores records his 3rd strikeout and a big second out of the inning.
Yeah, Walker was in swing mode there. When you get a hitter in swing mode, You really, if you make a quality pitch, although that ball was up in the zone, it was almost too high. If it had been a little lower, Walker probably could have done some damage with it, but Shores went to the slider, stayed up in the zone, and Walker was committed to the swing from jump, just couldn't get on it.
So we'll get a pinch hitter here early as Coach Bragniak realizes the opportunity that is on the table here with 2 outs and the bases loaded. Zach Major will pick up a bat, a grad student out of Plantation, Florida, a left-handed hitter against the right-handed throwing Shores. First delivery, upstairs, outside, ball 1. Infield. Playing straight up. Now they'll move Dickinson a little closer to second base, but not much. Here's the 1-0. The left-hander sent back foul into the screen. Evens the count, 1 ball, 1 strike. Again, Tanner Reeves at third. Stephen Milam at short. Daniel Dickinson, we mentioned, at second base. The Bear, Jared Jones at first. Pearson, Stanfield, and Brown left to right in the outfield, along with Kate Aaron Beatty, completing the battery with starter right-hander Chase Shores. 1 ball, 1 strike to Zach Major. Major 4 for 8 at the plate this year, batting .500. First time batting with the bases loaded this year. The 1-1. And pitch inside, but he fouled it off, fought it off, and it's 1-2. Shores now ahead, and the crowd trying to lift up their sophomore right-hander here. Keep it a 4-2 LSU lead. Get the Tigers back to the plate. Delgado off of third, Kraska off of second, Wilson off of first with 2 outs and a 1-2 count to Major. Shores fires. Get him into fist it. Little fly ball. Flutters to the mound, and Shores takes care of it himself for out number 3. Apropos, as he works himself out of a jam with the bases loaded and just 1 out, he finds 2 outs. Though the Lions put 2 runs on the
Dickinson change for North Alabama. Now playing right field is number 22, R.J. Sherwood. Sherwood is wearing number 22 today. He's number 23 on the North Alabama roster. But wearing number 22 today playing right field is R.J. Sherwood.
Tigers lead 4-2 over North Alabama. Bottom of the 3rd inning. Jared Jones will lead it off. Lions able to plate 2 runs. Make the game a little closer. They leave the bases loaded. Shores able to elicit a little pop fly to the mound as the first pitch to Jones, a called strike, and it's 0-1. R.J. Sherwood takes over in right field. Defensively for the Lions, after the pinch hitter unable to score any more runs from the plate. 1 ball, 1 strike now to Jones. Jared with a 2-run homer, the 6th of the year, back in the 1st inning. The Tigers on the board. Faces Pinston again for the 2nd time. The 1-1, huge swing, lifted in the air. Foul territory, first base side. Kraska gives it a look, but it takes a bounce in the low seating and into the right field bleachers. And it's 1 ball, 2 strikes now to Jones.
Yeah, you tip your hat to North Alabama in the top of the 3rd of figuring out a way to put a couple runs on the board. And not that they were ever out of the game, but kind of get this thing back to a ball game, and really tough luck by Shores. I mean, he's up to 62 pitches on the afternoon, and he didn't have a whole lot of balls hit hard in the top of the third there.
1-2. Breaking ball misses low and away. 2-2. Yeah, nothing else. Again, they was only down 4-0, but you wanted to get a little momentum if you're Coach Brackniak. They were able to produce that there in the top half of this frame. Jared Jones has mind to get it back for the Tigers. The 2-2, sharply hit ground ball. It's a one-hopper handled by Jenkins deep in the hole. It's short. The throw to first in time to get Jones for out number 1.
Yeah, nice play by Jenkins. But, you don't want Shores to think, okay, well, that's going to happen to me. I got to try to strike everyone out. I think that's the worst thing. I think he still needs to pitch, have that confidence, and I think Coach Yeski will let him know that, hey, look, still continue to make pitches. That's just bad luck. That may not happen again all year. I mean, they probably had 4 balls hit, all base hits that were exit velocity of maybe 30, 40 miles an hour. I'm not sure, but it wasn't hard.
Daniel Dickinson stands in. The first pitch a called strike, and it's 0-1. Daniel aboard on an fielding error by the third baseman Billingsley on a ground ball back in the first inning. Came around to score one of the 4 runs for the Tigers in that opening frame. Here's the 0-1. Swing and a foul ball rolls to the backstop. 0-2. Baseball fans, remember SeatGeek makes it easy to find tickets so you can be a part of all of the home run celebrations this season at the box. So whether you're buying or selling baseball tickets, SeatGeek, the place to do it. The official ticket marketplace of LSU Athletics. Expect the expected. SeatGeek. Another foul off the bat of Dickinson keeps the count 0-2. Pinston fires. This is low. Dickinson went down to look at it. Kept the bat back, and it's 1 ball, 2 strikes. Pinston, the 1-2 pitch. Dickinson, ground ball. Going to be handled by Billingsley at third. The throw going to bounce, but a nice dig by Kraska on the hop to record out number 2. Dickinson retired. Now we'll see Josh Pearson. 2 gone here in the bottom of the third inning.
At the plate for the Tigers, left fielder.
Yeah, Dickinson with another hard hit ball to third base. This time, Billingsley able to catch it, make a throw over to first base, and Kraska stays with the ball in the dirt.
Timeout now taken by Jay Johnson. He's going to bring Pearson over. Huddle around with Milam and Brown here. Talk it over. Again, serving 2 purposes. Talk a little strategy, but also kind of slow up Anthony Pinston, who has kind of settled in after a shaky start there in the bottom of the first inning when the Tigers plated 4 runs. We mentioned there in the first inning they sent personnel down to the bullpen, but nobody's been active. As Coach Brackniak happy so far with Pinston being able to right the ship.
Well, look, just like the coaches can be positive with Chase Shores, I'm sure the coaches for North Alabama kind of saying the same thing. Look, Jones, big and strong, and it wasn't like he demolished that ball. He just hit it a mile in the air, and it just kept going out to right field. So they can obviously be very positive with him and say, look, keep throwing strikes, keep competing. We're right in this game. And he's done that for sure.
First pitch to Pearson, a strike on the outside corner with a fastball, and it's 0-1. Josh today lined out to Jonathan Lane, his first time up. Again, has his average up to 303. Seen time in the outfield as well as the designated hitter in this lineup for Coach Johnson. Here's a much harder line drive, but right at Kraska, reaches out the glove and fields it. That one smoked off the bat by Pearson, but right at the Lion first baseman. The Tigers again 3 up and 3 down. We've played 3 at the box, and it's 4-2 LSU with the lead. North Alabama comes to the plate when we continue. This is Fighting Tiger Baseball.
Hancock Whitney, Louisiana Blue, and Coca-Cola. And now direct your attention to the field for Hancock Whitney Steel Base. Our contestant today is Bryson. Bryson has 15 seconds to race out to the field, grab the base, and run back across the finish line. With 15 seconds here on the line track. One Hancock with the on right center. On the mark. Get set. Go! And he's off. The clock is on the right field board. He's got 10 seconds. He's got the base operation. Third baseman, Riker Billingsley.
Riker Billingsley leads it off for the Lions here in the top of the fourth inning. Shores. First pitch, a strike at the hands on the inside corner, and it's 0-1 to the left-hander Billingsley, who popped out to the shortstop Milam. His first time up back in the second inning. Shores fires as Billingsley showed bunt, brings it back, pitch outside, and it's 1 ball and 1 strike.
Well, we saw Anthony Ianson yesterday give up the 2 runs in the first and then just be magnificent the rest of the way for 7 innings and had the 2 walks with 15 strikeouts.
1-1, a bouncer down the first base line. You get Shores ahead, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Fans, when the Tigers win, remember you win. Enter promo code LSU50. That's LSU50. The day after an LSU baseball win, you'll receive 50% off your online pizza order at papajohns.com. Better ingredients, better pizza, Papa John's. The 1-2 fouled back into the screen by Billingsley. Keeps the count there.
We'll see if Shores, after giving up the 2 runs in the top of the third, if he can settle in a little bit. And pitch count is up a hair. Not sure if he'll get to 7 innings, but it'd be nice to see him get maybe 5 or 6 innings in.
Shores ready to work, winds, and the 1-2. Trying to catch that inside corner just a little too far in, and it's 2-2. Billingsley, a .214 hitter on the season. Waits on the 2-2 pitch. Lifts a soft fly ball into shallow right field. Dickinson, though, the second baseman, backpedals his way and squeezes it for out number 1. And again, to your point, Buzzy, another hit that maybe was 40 miles an hour off the bat. That's kind of been the one thing that has been nagging Shores today. It's of the 6 hits, not many have been hit hard.
Hey, he's pitching to contact, which is what you like. I mean, he's only got 3 strikeouts.
But Jenkins now at the bottom of the order. He's 0 for 1 on the day. Infield playing straight up to the right-hander. They appeal down to first. He did not go around. Pitch rolled a ball, and it's 1-0. Jenkins flied out to Pinston on a nice play in left. His first time up. There's a strike from Shores to even up the count.
Yeah, good slider from Shores on the outside part of the plate. And that's what I've liked. I mean, I've liked the fastball. The velocity's been 97. We've seen a few 98-mile-an-hour fastballs. The slider's been sharp. He's been able to throw the one early in the count and then the bury me one late.
When a nice breaking ball, but just missed the inside corner. That one he was trying to get in for a strike, but it's 2-1. See if he goes back to the heat here. The 2-2, and he does. This one hit in the air. Good ways out to right field. Brown still carrying back and at the wall. in front of the bullpen screens, able to make the grab for the second out of the inning. And that one didn't sound explosive off the bat, but again, able to get up there high enough into that jet stream. And Brown started, kind of slowly made his way to the track, and then eventually right there at the Venture Global sign, a slight collision into the fencing, but records the out. So with 2 down, top of the order now, Jonathan Lane, who's 1 for 2, had a double back in the 3rd inning. Came around to score. First pitch outside on a fastball, and it's 1-0. This time Dickinson, the second baseman, shaded a little towards the back with a right-handed hitter, but otherwise straight up for the infield. There's a swing and a miss. Off speed from Shores, and it's 1-1. Pitch low, Lane lets it go, and it's 2 balls, 1 strike.
LSU coming into this game had a team, as a team, had 188 strikeouts. That's tied for 3rd in the SEC at the moment.
2-1, a bouncer up the middle. Milam stretching out, can't get to it. Bounces its way to Stanfield in center field, so a 2-out single there for Lane, his 2nd knock of the day, 7th hit for the Lions, and it keeps the inning going. That'll bring Nash Rippon, who is 2 for 2 today. A couple of singles, 1 single, a walk, came around to score a run in that 3rd.
Yeah, Lane will run too. He's 3 of 4 on the year in stolen bases.
Take a 3-step lead off the bag. Shores takes some time, glances over, now fires, and this one swung on in the air, high to left center field. Pearson circling over. Now Stanfield makes the call and the grab in left center for out number 3. So the Lions, no runs, 1 hit. They leave that 1 man on. We played 3.5 here at Alex Box Stadium. The Tigers up 4-2 here in Game 3. They come to the plate. Milam, Brown, and Reeves. When we continue, this is Fighting